Do you want to speak English like a pro, like these people?
America has a place for him too.
Will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Actually premised upon the deindustrialization of India. The handloom weavers, for example, famed across the world, whose products were exported around the world.
So I'm here today to tell you, I have turned that network around.
In that case, this particular video is for you. So please watch this video from the scratch until the end, and you will get a lot of things that you are dreaming of. Nothing is free in this world except one thing, that is time. So let's utilize it effectively to improve your spoken English. Here in this video, we will talk about 6 different techniques that you can do in your daily life to speak English effectively, fluently, and accurately. Please watch this video until the end, because this video will give you that spark of motivation plus the right way of mastering spoken English, which you were missing throughout these years. If you like this video, please subscribe to our channel, like and comment us below on what should be our next video. We will value your comments for sure. If you did not watch the All English Tense video that we made before, please watch that as well, because that's a great package about tenses with lots of great information. Today, the learning of English is the difference between success and failure. You can impact the world by learning English. We are living in a global village now, where English is the global language. If we are able to communicate well in English, we will have a lot of opportunities for our business, employment, status in the society, etc. Let me begin with a story. Once my car broke down and I had to take a taxi to go to my office, I found this driver from Nepal who was talking in very good spoken English, better than many of my colleagues even. I was wondering, and I asked him that how did he learn this much fluent language. He told that he only attended primary school, and while he drives around his car, he listened to English radio stations, and also whenever there is an English speaking passenger gets in his cab, he tries his best to start a conversation with them, and that's how he learns his English. He was in his early 20s when I saw him, and I'm sure he must have raised his proficiency by now and moved to some other job for sure. I just told this story because I want you to understand something. There are so many things which contributes to good spoken English, but an important question for you is this: to what extent your attitude similar to those of that taxi driver? Are you willing to start a conversation in English whenever there is a chance? Or do you feel as if the cat did get your tongue, that whenever you try to speak in English, your tongue won't behave itself and you can hardly make any sound? How then can you improve your spoken English? How can you put your resolution to improve into practice? Here we suggest 6 valuable tips which you can do on yourself to improve your English in general and spoken English in particular. Before going to the tips, first we should know what are the main pillars of any language. There are basically 4 pillars in any language. These are grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, and usage. All the 6 tips that we are going to discuss in this video are based on these 4 pillars. So let's talk about the first tip, which is none other than listening. You may think, why did I choose listening?
at first, because listening will help us to pass through all the 4 pillars of English language, which are grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation and usage. Listening to good English will help you to speak English with proper grammar rules without even knowing it. Like you will be able to talk in correct English tenses, use proper sentence structures, etc. Also, you will improve your vocabulary by learning new words and also learn its meanings, pronunciation, and most importantly, you will learn how to communicate with others. Let's talk about children. Naturally, children begin listening to their parents when they are babies. They keep listening and listening about 2 to 3 years continuously before even learning to utter a word. Though nobody knows if the baby understands the spoken words, the process continues. Children automatically acquire such language over some time and later on gradually produce it through actual experience. The production may be incomplete at first but successful at the last. That leads to speaking skill, which is quite applicable to daily conversation. In learning English, listening can help improve speaking considerably. Although it's the first of all skills, it is neither the easiest nor the most meaningless. We need to hear various types of English repeatedly and continuously if you want to communicate properly, meaningfully and naturally. Why listening is so important? When listening, we are reviewing a lot of English usage such as vocabulary, grammatical structures, intonation, accent and our own interpretation. We can learn new words and expressions by hearing them frequently. We can imitate what we hear and apply it with great confidence. Listening can be a good hobby while you do other things such as cooking, ironing, exercising, relaxing, etc. In other words, we have no wasted time at all. Listening is also a great way to train our attention. You should understand that without listening you can't speak properly. So listen to at least 1 hour of pure English every day. It can be of English lectures, news, movies, motivational videos, English conversation, speeches, audiobooks or even TED Talks. I'll give some recommendations of some very nice motivational English TED Talks in the description below so that you can listen to it whenever you have time. Also, listen to good English will give correctness in our language, which is very important. Also, when you listen, try to make it as a habit that you will be doing it automatically without putting a lot of efforts. Like when you go for morning walk or exercising or you are cooking, that time you can listen to these good English videos, so that will become a habit. Second tip for learning spoken English is read and write. Reading and writing will help us to pass through the first 2 pillars of English language. Those are grammar and vocabulary. Reading books gives you the chance to learn vocabulary in the context of a story. This means you can see how words and phrases are connected in everyday conversation. Reading will not only help you to improve your grammar and vocabulary, but also provides you the correctness of language. And when we write, we are not only getting thorough with our vocabulary, but also our ability to think and imagine in English will develop, which is very important when we talk about spoken English. Write a diary. Make it as a habit. Jot down new words that you learned that day. While reading, I suggest that you not only read a book or novel at one time, but many times. Because first time your brain will search for the storyline or plot, But subsequently, if you read it again and again, you will start learning the new words, its different meanings, at different context, sentence structures, etc. Even though I prefer you to read paper books, there are many online sites where you can read great books free of cost. Some of them are mentioned in the description below. The third tip of learning spoken English is identify the object on your target language, that is English. As I told you before, there are 4 pillars of English language: grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation and usage. Identifying the object on English language will increase your vocabulary, which is very important for speaking the language. Look around your room right now and try to identify and name the object in English language. Go to your kitchen, go to your bedroom, go to your living room, try to find out, try to say the names of the things you find in front of you in English. If you don't understand the correct English word, no problem. Google it. Like, just write in Google, just write it. Google will tell you the correct English word. You can write it in your language also. It's not a difficult task. You can find almost anything from Google now. I'll give an example right now here. By doing this, you will train your brain to remove the hesitation or block that you have about English language. The fourth technique of learning spoken English is imitate or shadowing technique. By this technique, you are using the last 2 pillars of English language, which are pronunciation and usage. Did you notice small children? How do they start talking in their mother tongue? They listen like 2 to 3 years continuously and they start imitating you. Did you ever notice how they do that? It's really wonderful. It's the learning technique that the Almighty, the Creator, encrypted in their brain. We should be imitating good English conversation like that. They don't even feel bad or discouraged if they don't speak nice. Let's listen to some good English conversation every day and try to imitate them repeatedly. I'll give my recommendation to some good English conversation to practice the imitation technique in the description below. The 5th tip of learning spoken English is watch English movies. Isn't it interesting? By this technique, you are using 3 of the 4 pillars of English language, which are vocabulary, pronunciation and usage. Try to watch English movies like the way you take medicine 3 times a day. The doctors used to tell you, take this medicine from one morning, one in the afternoon and one in the night, like that. But here, it's not within a day, but at your convenient time, within a week or 2. Watch the same movie 3 times. I'll give you a very effective tip together. If there is English subtitle, first time watch it with subtitle, and second and third time watch without subtitles. It's working like this. First time when you watch a movie, your brain is giving more importance to understand the storyline and the characters of it. But the second time when you watch, since you already know the story, your brain will start concentrating on the dialogues and its meaning. At the third time, your brain will concentrate on the way they communicate each other and their pronunciation, intonation and accent. So by watching 3 times, your spoken English will improve for sure. The last and final tip for learning spoken English is through audiobooks with subtitles in English. We get all the information through the 5 senses that we have. English audiobooks with subtitles will help you to stimulate both auditory and visual senses at the same time. And it's one of the best techniques widely practiced all over the world. I will suggest some very good audiobooks from YouTube that you can practice alone. I will mention it here in the description below. From all the tips that we have learned today, we must understand one thing. There is no tablets to improve spoken English, but you can achieve it only through the methods that we discussed here, combined with your conscious efforts, with resilience, hard work, determination and dedication. Chase your dreams, even if you don't see anything in front. Same as when you travel in the night on a bike or a car, you can only see what the headlight shows in front of you. But if you keep moving, you will reach your destination. Spoken English is like that. Start now, start today, take a small step, and you can practice and become an expert in spoken English. Wish you all the very best.